And I'm like.
Are you done?
Yeah,
All right, it's 6:30.
he did it at night, it's like he's done his thing. That, I get it.
It's 6:30. We'll call the meeting to order and we'll start with the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag
of
of
the
the United States
and to the republic which stands one nation under God, indivisible with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. If everybody make sure your microphone is on. And Cheyenne, will you call roll, please?
Yes, Scott Meyer.
Here.
Amy Lawson.
Here.
Hart Sumeyer.
Here.
Ed Brand.
Here. Cheyenne.
Cheyenne Hawkins. I am here. Sorry.
We do have a quorum. First thing we need to do is amend the agenda, and I'll look for a motion to amend the agenda to add items C, which is discuss the executive session. Item D is appoint a member to the DCC.
The agenda to add item C.
Amy, can you pull your mic down where it's facing her? There you go.
I will
There you
make
go.
a motion to amend the agenda to add items C and D.
I'll second it.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? All in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstained? I almost feel like you should have said the white zone is for loading in. Okay, so there is no old business. We'll move straight to the new business. Commission to designate a president, vice president, and secretary for 2023. Do we have any nominations?
Second.
Wow. We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? All in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstain? Motion carries. Vice President,
I'll make a motion to appoint Amy Lawson as Vice President of the Redevelopment Commission.
Second.
have a motion and a second. Any discussion? All in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstain? Motion carries.
I'll make a motion to appoint Cheyenne Hoffa as secretary for 2023.
Second.
Have a motion and a second. Any discussion? All in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Next, consider approving the minutes of December 15, 2022.
Make a motion that we approve the minutes as written for December 15th, 2022.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? All in favor indicate by saying aye. Any opposed? Any abstained? Motion carries. Item C would be to discuss and verify or validate that the executive session held at 6 p.m., that there was no other discussion other than advertised, and that we do have a motion to make regarding that meeting.
Do you have to validate? Is the motion validating or are we just validated?
We just I validated when I stated that we did not discuss anything other than what was advertised.
I will make a motion to make an offer on the property discussed in the executive section for the South Madison project up to the amount agreed upon within the executive session.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? All in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstained? Motion carries. Item D is we are required to appoint a member from this committee to the DCC. Last year, that was Ed Brand. So we will be looking for a motion to appoint a member to that committee again.
I'll make a motion to appoint Ed Brand to the DCC for 2023.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Any discussion? All in favor indicate by saying aye.
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 Any opposed? Any abstained? Motion carries. On to review of financials. Are there any discussion or questions? If none, we'll be looking for a motion to approve as submitted.
I will make a motion to approve the financials as presented.
Second.
Have a motion and a second. Any discussion? All in favor indicate by saying aye.
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 Any opposed? Any abstained? Motion carries. Last is approval of invoices, and we have one small one for $433,734.14 to INDOT.
What is the difference between the top and the bottom number? I mean, I know we only owe the 433, but like, what, did we already pay the 292?
No, that is actually the town council's portion.
Okay,
That was actually for a
Thank you.
different project, but it was all invoiced together because the contract.
okay, gotcha, makes sense.
You might explain the 66,000 to everybody, Joe.
The 66,000, I believe,
That's one
was
that-
what you're looking at is the RDC committed $500,000 to be the 20% of the project, the Stellar project. The town was awarded $2 million, up to $2 million through the Stellar for the Broadway corridor project. The RDC committed the other 20%, which would be the 500,000. The project come in a little under, so the actual price that was invoiced to the town and the RDC was $433,734.14. The extra funds that are left over, since you did commit the 500, you can leave it as is, or you can, wipe it out and say, we're done, we're not contributing anymore. But there is a possibility through the project that you might find that, there was some additional type of signage or something that you wanted to see added. So, those funds could be still added to that project if you like.
So we would probably want to leave those funds
You can leave them committed.
where
I mean,
they're
if-
committed until this project
If
is
something
over with.
comes in for 70, I'm gonna ask you to spend 70. You can do it however you like.
Well, you can see the number is 66,000. I'm not sure where you.
There
can-
is a possibility when the project comes in that it could come in under the 433 or under the total. So then at that point, if there's other things that need to be added, they could apply those numbers back and forth. So we don't do any change orders or anything on the project till we're close to the end to see how the numbers wash out.
And then at the end of the project, if there's any left, it goes back to the general fund.
Yeah, probably would go back to the general fund, and I'm sure that with our bookkeeper and council, I'm sure if it needed to go back into the RDC, it could be transferred.
Okay, so that was RDC money, so it'll go back into our fund.
Well, you'd have to kind of figure out where the money came from and where it's,
Oh,
Yeah.
and I don't know.
Okay.
that- I'm just more worried about him asking for 70,000. We only got 66,000.
well, new truck.
Well,
Yeah, not for that.
whatever it takes.
How would we be spending money that didn't come from our fund?
It's not.
I won't be spending money without coming back before.
Like how we would say that it might not be our money, if we're spending it, it's our money, right?
Well, if they came back, if it comes in less, where did it come from? Where did the shortage come from here?
Yes,
And
thank
you know,
you.
the council members are a little stingy.
50-50.
Yeah, something like that.
Or-
I would entertain a motion.
I will make a motion to approve the INDOT invoice of $433,734.14.
Second,
I have a motion and a second. Any discussion? All in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstain? Motion carries. Item 6, public comment. Miss Public? Do you have any comment? Okay. Staff comments.
Nothing for me.
Joe, Andy? Board comments. Did you say you guys?
Yeah, so I been talking to the county council. I had a conversation with Adam. We as an RDC and Fortville, both the RDC and the EDC, which are relatively new, or committees within the town, and the state really. We don't have any kind of marketing. We're not doing any kind of outreach to businesses about why Fortville is attractive and trying to bring folks into that. And so when I talked to Adam, he made the comment about maybe exploring options within, like a consulting company out of Fishers or something to kind of make an offering that says, hey, we're on the map and we're ready for new business and come see us here in Fortville. And before, I don't think that's necessarily a bad idea, but before we get to that, I think we should exercise all options ourselves within our, our networks to make our position known. And one thing that I found that was a gap is that there's no communication amongst the municipalities and the county, right? So the county has their RDC, their EDC, and then the municipalities each have, theirs. And so to my bewilderment, when I spoke to Councilman Shelby at the county seat, he was completely unaware about the resources and the things that we were doing on the RDC and then the EDC. And so he asked that at their budget hearing, the county's budget hearing in February, it's on February 1st at 9 a.m. excuse me, that I put together some, basically just some success stories that we've accomplished. And then, also talk about kind of our budget and what that consists of in this effort to create almost a subcommittee of each of our RDCs, right? The municipalities and the counties, that we can collaborate. Because if somebody goes to, it's no secret that the county advertises their RDC and their EDC efforts a lot, right? Mount Comfort Corridor, they get requests all the time. However, I don't think that there's ever been a time where the county, via their marketing, that they've solicited a prospect for the county, that's ever not worked out with the county and they've said, okay, hey, let's pass these on to the municipalities, right? I think if the county's spending that money and we as a county want those businesses to come here and create jobs, that there should be crosstalk that maybe this business that wants to come isn't the right fit for the county in Mount Comfort, or it's not the right fit for New Pal, but it might be great for Fortville. And right now that, I know that the town planners, you guys get together and talk, but from the appointed seats, there's not really any of that cross communication. And so I'm going to oblige Councilman Shelby, and I'll be there on February 1st. If you guys have anything you want to send me, I'm just going to give them, basically what's already here, but bringing it to them. If you guys have anything you want me to specifically bring up to mention, pros, cons of, interdependence amongst the municipalities and the county, I'm all ears and happy to do that. But it doesn't make sense for us all, in my opinion, it doesn't make sense for us all to spend crazy amounts of money on marketing when we're all looking for the same fish, right? It's just having that relationship that if it doesn't work out for New Pal, that, come to Fortville and so on and so forth. So I just want to bring that to you guys.
I would suggest while you're trying to pull your information together, to reach out to Randy Sorrell and see what they're doing and what kind of feedback and information that they're getting with the Economic Development Council.
I'll talk with you about that offline.
And what meeting is that in February?
It's the county budget meeting.
Okay. Hancock County budget meeting.
Yeah.
Anybody have anything for those comments or any new comments from this board?
Just clarification. So like trying to create like a county marketing, like what, like visit Hancock County, like what?
Well, marketing is a component of that. Yes. But it's more about if something comes to the county, I think we all have a mutual interest in that business coming here, right? It's better for, way of life, shopping, commerce, all that stuff. But if something comes into New Pal, right, via a friend, a cousin, a broker, or what have you, and it doesn't work in New Pal's strategic plan, right? Because all of our municipalities kind of have their own strategic plan. I want there to be, or I feel like there should be at least an established communication channel that they can say, hey, New Pal, this doesn't really fit our mold, but we know Fortville that you're trying to do X, Y, Z. This might be a good prospect for you. Here's the contact information.
Mm.
Instead of that business then going to Plainfield and then being the recipient of 200 new jobs just because New Pal doesn't have the area for it. Right? So marketing is one of those that would probably be, 12 to 24 months from now where we eventually I could see where there was a line item on here that we paid into a collective marketing fund that advertised Hancock County. We're the 5th fastest growing county in the state. And growth is going to happen. I think everybody's, coming around to that, but controlled and smart growth is what we're all after. So instead of being, consistently on the reactive side of that, let's be proactive about it. Let's have those established channels. That way, when that opportunity comes, we're ready to move on it.
I like it. Anything else? Looking for a motion to adjourn at 6:46.
Motion.
So I'll second.
All in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
We're adjourned. Thank you.
Thank you.
He's not.